Hey detective, we're gonna be doing, it's not quite a tier list, it's a bracket fights, bracket battle thing. It's like a March Madness tournament style of all the Nancy Drew PC games, and I'm so excited. I did a tier list about a year and a half ago over on Twitch of every single game. The entire thing is on YouTube if you do want to see it, and I've been kind of wanting to revisit that, and I thought, hey, let's do something a little bit different. We're gonna be doing a tournament style, and I'm so excited. Let's get right into it. Right off the bat, I'm like, ooh. These first two games, I don't like either of these first two games. This is gonna be interesting, so let me know in the comments down below what you think about this. What are some of your top games? Let me know like your top 3. What do you think of the game that just came out, 7 Keys? I also want to know what you think of that. Let's get into it. I'm gonna have to go with Shattered Medallion. Shattered Medallion, it really let me down. I feel like had so much potential with having Sunny in the game, a huge recurring character that you never see, but he's always like referenced, and so many characters, so much potential. But 7 ships is so bad, it makes no sense. We're not even gonna talk about the controversy and the issues. You can't even buy this game anymore. It's not available for purchase, so... Okay, Labyrinth of Lies versus Blackmoor Manor. That's interesting. Blackmoor Manor, Labyrinth of Lies, and I can barely say that word. Labyrinth of Lies. And these two covers are kind of similar cover schemes? Color schemes. I literally just like can't speak, like what's going on? I'm not the biggest Labyrinth of Lies fan. I feel so claustrophobic in that one, and I don't like that everything is indoors. There's not like another location to explore. The sets and the story and the characters are pretty good. And then Blackmoor Manor has like the exact same thing where I don't like that you're 100% like you're kind of in the same location the whole time. And Blackmoor Manor, I don't have nostalgic memories of this. I'm gonna go Blackmoor Manor though. Blackmoor Manor, yeah, just because I like that OG classic nostalgia. And this one's just so claustrophobic. This one's a bit better, more to explore. This, I don't like the underground. I don't like the end game in this one either. Ooh, again with the color schemes matching, although maybe just there's a lot of like red and blue and purple in some of these as I'm looking. Them like half of them have purple, half of them have blue. Anyways, not important. Maybe we should do a analysis of all the covers or something. So I think that this is an easy one. Crystal Skull is so much fun. It's so good. It's really scary and spooky. Love the setting. Trail the Twister just isn't that fun, not as interesting. I don't like the bird's eye view driving. I don't like the bird's eye view driving in Old Clock either, so I'm passing on Trail the Twister and we're going with Crystal Skull. And it's really fun. It's a good one. Minus the spider. Ooh, this one's tough. White Wolf of Icicle Creek and Treasure in the Rail Tower. Again, kind of similar with the winter vibes. This one though, so I said it was tough, but then I was like, I don't know why I said that. Don't like the salad making in Icicle Creek and the chores and the time flow. And like, it can be kind of tough if the first time you play it. I don't know, I don't like it as much. Treasure in the Rail Tower is, oh, it's one of my top. I think it's probably my tier list. I might have ranked it number 3 or 4 probably. It's just so special. I streamed over on Twitch about a year ago. I don't think we finished it though. Don't tell anyone. Of course, Mr. Egan. See ya, Mr. Egan. And the 50 drumsticks. So many like iconic memories and memes I feel like come from this game, and not as much this one. And it's just more fun. Ooh, stay tuned for Danger, and then Danger by Design. We got the double Danger. Okay, Danger. Add this one to the list of games I didn't have as a kid. I didn't have game number 2. The first game was Haunted Mansion. It's, you know, they were still getting like their groove and the vibe and figuring things out. There's some like glitches and bug, like you can soft lock kind of, and you get stuck in the hallway, wait for the game to go through like 16 hours. But the characters are pretty iconic, and it has some pretty cool places to explore. I like that you get to do, you're like in the taxi with the, like the little map. There's just not like a ton to explore. I always feel like I'm trying to click on like a lot of stuff and places that I want to go, and I just feel really limited in this one. Danger by Design, in contrast though, there's so much to explore. Tomb things, the market of course, the, you know, apartment that you're staying at, the windmill, you know, minette and all of that stuff. There's almost like too much to kind of keep track of and explore. Like if you're playing this for the first time, I wouldn't be surprised if you got like really confused or stuck sometimes and like where to go. This one's fun, of course, being international with the French. I like when they incorporate like kind of the educational experience, you know, in Venice and then in Paris. So I think I'm easily gonna go with Danger by Design. But I do want to say, like, this is like, for what it is and being the second game, it's not the worst. Ooh, okay, so this one is like so easy. This one is so easy. Secret of Shadow Range is everything to me. Shorty is everything. Every character in that game is everything. Dave, Tex, the sheriff, Mary, the Raleighs, getting to call Bess and George, who are just continuously getting stuck with thunderstorms, which is just so tragic. I'm obsessed with this game. This game, like, this is for the romantic girlies. Like, some people think it's kind of cheesy or boring, but I think it's so cute. I don't remember what I ranked it in my video. Probably 2. 1 or 2. 2 in the Lost Queen, it's so forgettable for me. I don't really feel super excited about it. It's a cool location. It's a little lacking though, I think, in the exploring. This one in like Labyrinth of Lies, yeah, you're only at the tomb. You don't really go anywhere else. And I just don't like that as much. I would rather like give me a little taxi ride that I can do, or a subway station I can hop on. And I mean, I've talked about Shadow Ranch enough. Duh. Ooh, Waverly Academy and Secrets Can Kill. So the very first game, I've only played the remastered, but I've seen the OG and I've seen the remaster, like the graphic difference or whatever. I mean, it's the first one. I do like Secrets Can Kill. Like, I actually replayed it pretty recently. But Waverly Academy, I did play on stream last year, and I love this game. This one is so fun. I think this is one of the best ones, like, in the franchise. The story, the characters, it's so Gossip Girl. I think Nancy being like undercover as Becca, I think is fun. It makes sense. And I like the phone calls when she was like calling Ned. Anyway, I've talked about this one enough. Okay, so this is so an easy one as well. This is my all-time favorite game, Danger on Deception Island, because I live very close to where this game takes place. The studio originally where the game was recreated was in like the Seattle area in Washington, and like they really nailed it with the atmosphere. The story of like the fisherman versus the environmentalist is so good. Oh, I could go on forever about this. Silent Spy, the story is really like a downer for me, and so that's like part of why I don't like it as much. It's really pretty though, and it has a lot of great places to explore. I like it, but this one's obviously gonna be better. This one's obviously gonna be better. Okay, so now I think we are at like kind of round 2, because these are ones that we've already talked about, so I won't go as like crazy about all the characters and stuff. This is an easy one, Blackmoor Manor. There we go. I was like, did it click? Royal Tower, easy. Okay, so now we're going back through that original list. Okay, easy Shadow Ranch. Easy Deception Island, although it is a shame to let go of Waverly Academy. I think in my tier list I probably ranked it like number 5. Easy Royal Tower. I feel like I just got stabbed in the heart. Like, these are my 2 favorite games, and they're very different actually in like atmosphere. Like, literally one's in the desert and the other's in the Pacific Northwest and like the ocean and kayaking, and then the other one you're like horseback riding. But I love both. I love the setting, the characters, the story. One's like a romance story and the other is a very like political real life story. They're also games number 9 and 10. This is like the era that I really love in the series, with like how they're just like the menus and like the hints and the stuff. This brings me great pain. I've been like just procrastinating in my head on how I'm gonna I'm like, how am I gonna choose? I have to go to Deception Island, and we're just gonna move on. So Danger on Deception Island was our winner from that kind of little go around, and now we're gonna be 2 of the rest of the games that we didn't get to. I like very different things about both of these games. Again, very different settings. One's in Germany, one's in Hawaii. The Hardy Boys in this though, and like I think this one has just like a little bit more of, it's an earlier game. It has like kind of that earlier game charm and character. But the characters are really fun and charming and interesting. Captive Curse, there's obviously relationship drama in Captive Curse. It's like really iconic and crucial in the Nancy Drew universe. Now that I think about it, both of these games are like really crucial in the Nancy Drew, like Ned and Nancy universe. The Hardy Boys are here. I'll call you back later. Bye. That has nothing to do with which game is better, but it's important nonetheless. I'm gonna have to go with Kapu Cave. Even though I think more people probably in general like Captive Curse, I like the tropical setting. Captive Curse is getting knocked down because that issue of not having like a ton of places to explore. There is the forest outside of the castle, and there's a lot of rooms in the castle, but bird's eye view driving and not being able to leave the premises are like, ugh, I'm not gonna like them as much. So Kapu Cave. Okay, so this one is interesting. Phantom of Venice and Haunted Carousel, very different games, very early, and then this is kind of like right in the middle. Haunted Carousel's short. It's really fun. I do like the characters. We did a playthrough on Twitch of this one and we finished it. The ending is, it's one of my favorite endings in all the games. I remember we saved right before because I wanted to replay and do the kind of, if you know, you know. Phantom of Venice has some iconic moments. It's fun, it's good. I don't know, something about it I just don't like as much. I remember when this first came out, it came out in the summer. I remember kind of like struggling with it, getting stuck a lot, being on the message boards, whereas this is a very short and easier game. Even replaying Venice, I'm just like, eh. But it has the iconic dance scene, so, you know, it is a shame to let this one go, but oof. This is another one that stabs me in the heart. Why do you do this, bracket battles? Why do you do this? Bracket fights is what it's called. Oh, I love both of these games, but the final scene is like so special to me. It's everything. Yeah, it's so easy for me to have to go final scene, but I do love the educational aspect in this one. I love the travel. Again, these ones are like in order, 5 and 6, like some of my favorites, they come like one after the other. It's so interesting. Just know that this was not, I was forced into this. I didn't choose this. Oof. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I don't mean to laugh. It's just like, it's so... We don't need to talk about it. We don't need to talk about why. Oh, wow. I love these two games as well. This is my very first game that I ever played. I was 9. The Mirror and the Ghost, if you know, you know. And that shook me to my core. It shook me for about 2 years, and then I revisited Haunted Mansion, and I did get past it, and it is cursed a little bit by like you're limited to just the location, but it's such an early game. The animations are a little cursed on the character models. They're still getting that figured out. Yeah, they have the characters a lot better animated and smoother, and the story I think is better developed, and the characters are better developed. I'm stressed. Just know that like Abby is one of the best characters in the whole series. The line about the gumbo. The story actually in this one, it's pretty good. Compared to like the first 2 games, Haunted Mansion they really hit their stride. And it's in San Francisco, which is one of my favorite cities. Ooh, Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake and Sea of Darkness. So this is an easy one and an interesting one. So I mentioned earlier that there's 2 games that I didn't have. Well, the first 2 I didn't have as a kid, and then I skipped Ghost Dogs and Blackmoor. I like the location. It's really pretty. I like that you get to go and like do the stuff on the boat and the lake and like explore a little bit more. Going to Emily, that one puzzle though of like the color coding is, oh, hate it. I hate it. I get to that part in the game and I'm like, okay, I'm done replaying. I'm done, but I have finished it and it is a fun one. It's a good one, but Sea of Darkness is everything. Sea of Darkness is kind of like the closing of the old chapter of the Nancy Drew games, the old studio and team and the old engine and just like everything. Locations that you slowly get to explore and just the connection to the story. They're like ice caves. But Ghost Dogs has a really fun and interesting story. Sea of Darkness. Ooh, interesting. Deadly Device and Thornton Hall. I'm not like super enthusiastic about either of these, but I don't hate them. Although Deadly Device gives me a little claustrophobia. Sometimes I wish that there are more rooms to explore at least, or like more levels to explore. You see like a really beautiful outside of like Colorado and the snow. Like, why can't we just go to like, I don't know, like some little like shack for skiing down the way or something, like, you know, cabin out in the mountains or something. Like, I feel like this is a great location. They could have done some outdoor stuff, but it was so tech focused, science, and this is for the science girly. I'm not a science girly, I'm more of the romance girly, more of the art and history girlies, like Scarlet Hand. I cheat on the puzzles on this all the time. I cheat all the time because I don't want to do them. Like, why would I want to measure out all these chemicals and all these units that aren't the same? Like, that's torture. That's literally like doing high school chemistry. And then Thornton Hall's interesting. It's scary. It's spooky. It has some pop-up moments. I'd say it's probably in the top 3 scariest, spookiest. The storyline is very haunting. That's a pretty deep story. Kind of, yeah, all the tension and the conflict. I like the location. You are kind of stuck. Characters are very interesting and very developed. All of their relationships and connections. So I think I'm probably gonna go with Thornton Hall. But again, I'm not like super enthusiastic about it. But I feel like in both of these, I'm like, they're pretty good, but there's things I wish were different. But, ooh, so this is Shadow at the Water's Edge. Why is this like, what is this image? Why is this image like a weird sketchy Anyways, enough about that. And then Kapu Cave. It's tough. I like things about Water's Edge, the incorporation of like the expo and like kind of the culture and the food. The bento box puzzle is my favorite. They also repeat that in Sea of Darkness. They do it first in this game and it is so fun. I think I'm gonna have to go Kapu Cave. It's just so silly and unhinged. And this one's trying to be a little bit more serious. And I like the tropical location again. Okay, so secrets can kill. This is remastered, and then Secret of the Old Clock. Don't like the drive down bird's eye view driving. It's okay. It's a pretty interesting like location and idea. It's an interesting idea to have Nancy like back in the past, and it's like a dream perhaps. And Secrets Can Kill remastered. It's pretty fun. I was just replaying it. It's not that difficult. It's a little like unhinged. The dialogue can be a little like, why did they say that like that, or like if you know, you know. I'm gonna have to go with this one just because it's iconic. Ooh, okay, so Haunted Carousel and Final Scene. I am a big fan of both of these, but I'm gonna have to go with Final Scene. That's my everything. I mean, Nicholas Falcone. What more is there to say? Alibi and Ashes, and then Haunted Mansion. Again, I'm gonna have to go with Haunted Mansion. I do like Alibi and Ashes, and I know that we skipped really even talking about this because it was with freaking Midnight in Salem. But this one is fun. You do get to play as like the different characters. It's fun being in Nancy's hometown, really good lore. Another important one in like the Nancy Drew universe, so just understanding her lore. We're gonna have to do what we gotta do here. All right, I know we're kind of closing in here, so again, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you've been enjoying something a little bit different. I did want to revisit my opinions and thoughts on all of these games, but I wanted to do something a little bit different. If you enjoy these brackets, these bracket fight things, let me know in the comments down below. Are there other games or even not games, pop culture, music? I'm gonna have to go with Sea of Darkness. It's an easy one. Again, so iconic, so fun. I think it might be a Kapu Cave versus whatever's on the other side. So this is, again, it's pain, it's tough. You are limited by just the like being inside, and you know, in both of these. I like the way that the days progress in the final scene. It's very clear like where the story, you know, is going, and like when you're done with stuff. It's so much fun. All right, Sea of Darkness and Kapu Cave. This is gonna be an easy one. Then I'm gonna do a little flip-flop here. I know we were rooting hard for Kapu Caves there, but Sea of Darkness is so everything. Better graphically, better puzzles, better ingredients, better pizza. Sea of Darkness. Oof. Well, it's pain. I'm gonna have to go Final Scene though. I love it so much. Oh, I knew it. I knew that this was gonna happen. I dilly darn knew it, and I was scared. I was scared. I was like, what if I have to choose between Deception Island and Final Scene? And though, I'm gonna have to go for my heart. The hometown of the Nancy Drew Studios, her interactive back in the day. There we have it, y'all. I had to resize some things, but there we have it. We have our final ranking of the games. And in the end, Danger and Deception Island won! So that was really fun. I think I'm going to have to revisit my tier list. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed this. Again, I really want to know your opinions in the comments down below. Let me know, what is your favorite game out of all of these? Do you have any of these battles where you were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she chose that? Let me know. And make sure to subscribe if you enjoy this sort of content. I hope to do some more bracket battles for gaming and pop culture. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!